You know, an Auburn fan recently went all cake boss in the Tigers' stunning win over Bama last fall with his groom's cake. Note the 1 second left on the clock. Then the aftermath with the tweet, "Ate it, and they couldn't keep us off the field." We continue our recruiting rivals series as we focus on the Tigers and Tide. Hi everyone, I'm Ray Crawford here with the latest in the recruiting front. A man who certainly can have his cake and eat it too as far as I'm concerned, the National Recruiting Director for Rivals.com, Mike Farrell. Mike, it can be a blessing and a curse to be a high school star in the state of Alabama. Some fan base is going to be disappointed. So who are some of the top in-state players with a big decision to make?
Well, we got a couple big guys. You know, Deron Payne's a defensive tackle, in-state kid. Grew up an Auburn fan, but right now it's kind of a toss-up, I think, between Auburn and Alabama. I think Alabama has the edge there, but, you know, it's hard to find those zero-technique defensive tackles that can also play a three technique and are just super strong. And this kid's very, very physical, so he's a priority. Tyler Carr is a kid that played defense up until his junior year. Now he's an offensive tackle prospect. Auburn and Alabama, again, I think it's a two-team battle here. He was leaning towards Alabama. There was some word that Auburn was kind of getting a little bit tired and wanted a decision from him. So he did tell us recently that Auburn's out in front, slightly over Bama. So this one keeps flipping and flopping. That's kind of what happens with a lot of these kids if they didn't grow up a fan of one or the other, or if they're getting recruited heavily.
Anybody who follows recruiting knows that just because a player gives a verbal commitment to one school doesn't necessarily mean the others are going to back off. Is there an out-of-state player one of these schools is trying to flip-flop here?
Well, I mean, you know, Martez Ivy's an offensive tackle from Florida. You know, the Gators are obviously involved here. He's out of Apopka High School. He's one of the most talented offensive tackles in the country. His best friend, Chandler Cox, just committed to Auburn, so he's going to be an H-back or a tight end for them. So everybody thinks they have the lead there, but Alabama covets this kid, and who Alabama covets, they usually tend to get. They pulled Cameron Robinson from Louisiana last year when LSU wanted him badly. So, you know, we'll see what Martez Ivy does. Could stay in state, but right now it could be a battle between Auburn and Alabama.
Cyrus Kwanjo, TJ Yeldon, in-state players who flipped from one rival to the other during the recruiting process. Who are Nick Saban and Gus Malzahn trying to turn to their side here?
Well, Jovan Robinson's a running back that was originally committed to Auburn out of high school. Now he's at JUCO. He's a five-star JUCO prospect, the #1 JUCO player in the country. He's recommitted to Auburn. Alabama's not stopping. They're going to continue to push for this kid. Obviously, I don't think he's going to flip because of the previous commitment to Auburn. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. And then Jonathan Ledbetter, a big defensive end from Georgia, has been committed to Alabama for a while. He took a visit with a teammate who's committed to Auburn recently. That created quite a buzz all over Twitter and every place else, thinking, you know, okay, this kid might flip from Bama to Auburn. You know, more often than not, Alabama steals kids from Auburn. But last year, Calvarez Besant, you know, he flipped from Alabama over to Auburn. So I think it's a situation where no matter how often or how long they've been committed, each school is going to try to continue to sway them. And there's a lot of pressure on these kids between the two programs.
Doesn't seem like it's over until signing day, as we all know. Great stuff, Mike. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
If you're a high school player who's been recruited by USC for a while, well, you've talked to probably a lot of different coaches over the past 12 months or so. How are they doing against UCLA? Recruiting rivals only on CampusInsiders.com.